Hello everyone, welcome back. This is lecture 1, class 9, subject English, and in this lecture we are going to discuss one new chapter of moments, that is Weathering the Storm in Essama. We will have a look on two topics related to this chapter, that is the introduction of the chapter and a deep explanation of this chapter. Let's start with the introduction of the chapter. The chapter name is Weathering the Storm in Assam. The introduction is: the story gives an account of the storm that hit the coastal town of Essama in Odisha state in the year 1999. A young boy, Prashant, faced the fury of the storm and reached his village. The details of how he worked hard to help the villagers overcome the devastation caused by the storm inspire us to have courage and a positive approach towards life. So this chapter is related to one coastal town of Essama in Odisha state, where a young boy, Prashant, faced the shattered and hazardous storm with courage and determination. The story is an inspirational story for every youth and every reader, that how to overcome the devastation by having a positive approach towards life. Start with the explanation of this chapter, that is Weathering the Storm in Assama. Prashant was a native of a village in the coastal state of Odisha. On 27th October 1999, he was on a visit to a friend in Essama, which is a small town in Odisha and a block headquarter in Jagatpura district. His village was at a distance of 18 kilometers from Essama. He had lost his mother 7 years ago. So this story is related to one native village, one village in Odisha, that is Essama. And Prashant was a native of that village who was on a visit. That means he went to his friend's house in Essama, that is a small town in Odisha. Prashant is not an orphan, but he has lost his mother 7 years ago. That day, a strong storm gathered in the evening. Furious wind accompanied by continuous rain lashed the place. Screams could be heard as trees got uprooted and destroyed the houses as they fell on them. The water flowed with gush and swept away houses that came in its way. There was neck deep water in his friend's house. So when Prashant visited his friend's house, then that day what happened? A strong storm gathered which had caused enormous destruction over there. The storm had uprooted the trees, destroyed the houses, and there was all around water flowing that was too deep to pass anyway. As his house was a pakka house, it was able to resist the strong winds which blew at a speed of 350 kilometers per hour. His friend's family was terrorized because in the middle of the night trees had fallen on the house, damaging the roof and walls of the building. So, as his friend's house was a pakka house, so they were able to resist the strong winds, the strong force blow of wind, but many trees had fallen on the house. So his friend's family was also scared, was also feeling shattered. The storm continued for the next 1.5 days, although the wind had slowed down. To escape the rising levels of water, Prashant, along with his friend and his family, took shelter on the roof of the house. As the day dawned, that means it was getting dark, Prashant saw the destruction caused by the super cyclone. As it was about to dark, they took shelter on the roof of the house. As far as Prashant could see, he saw a cover of muddy brown water. There were the remains of shattered houses surrounded by the water. Dead bodies of animals and human beings floated in the water. Huge trees had fallen and were floating around. 2 coconut trees had fallen on the roof of their house. So everywhere Prashant could only see the remains, the leftover pieces of shattered things like houses, dead bodies, and all things were floating on the water that had surrounded every place in that region. Initially, they thought that the trees had damaged the roof and walls of the house, but later they realized that this proved to be beneficial for them. As they were trapped in the house, they ate the raw coconuts from these trees and saved themselves from dying due to starvation. As the trees had fallen on the roof of his friend's house, initially they thought that the trees had damaged everything, but when they saw raw coconuts on those trees, they realized that they serve as a blessing in that crucial time for them, as they could save themselves from hunger and starvation by eating those raw coconuts. They spent the next 2 days on the rooftop. Everyone was so scared that they sat together in a group. It was very cold and the continuous rain washed away Prashant's tears. He was worried about his family members. As Prashant was at a distance from his family, he was worried, and the continuous rain, the falling of raindrops, washed away his tears, as no one could recognize that Prashant was in tears, as he was so much worried about his family members. Maybe he could have lost another family member and would be in grief over the loss of a loved one once again. This thought worried Prashant. So, when he could see the shattered condition all around him, he was too much worried about his family, as he had a fear of losing his loved one once again, that is, after losing his mother. The rain stopped after 2 days. It seemed to Prashant that the 2 days time was as long as the duration of 2 years. This shows that it was very difficult for him to pass the time, as the worry about his family's well-being worried him, as he was totally away from his own family, and it had been 2 days now, so it appeared to him as if 2 days were equivalent to 2 years. It was very difficult for him to remain in thoughts only and not to see the life condition of his family members. The rain had stopped and the water was receding gradually. Although it was dangerous to go out, he did not waste any more time and left to find his family. His friend's family requested Prashant to stay back, but he left. So he could not wait for long, and as the rain stopped, he stepped out in order to find his own family. With the help of a long stick, Prashant started the 18-kilometer long journey back home. As he passed through the flood water, the journey got inscribed in his mind forever. He had to use the stick to guide him and find the path where the water was shallower, as it was too deep for him to walk to his home. He carried a stick with him, and that journey from his friend's house to his own house got inscripted on his mind forever. At some places, the water was waist deep and his pace slowed down. At some places, he lost a track of the road and had to swim to save himself from drowning. As the water was too deep for any human being to walk, sometimes at some places he even had to swim to save himself from drowning. After some time, he was relieved as he got the company of two friends who, along with their uncle, were returning to their village. All of them proceeded together. So, as he walked further, he got relieved when he got accompanied by his uncle and two friends. As the group proceeded, they got to see horrible scenes. They had to push dead bodies of human beings and animals which were being swept around with the current of the water. As they crossed villages, not even a single house was seen. As Prashant's fear grew, he wept loudly. He was sure that his family members would not have survived the disaster. As Prashant could see the devastated situation around him, he cried bitterly as he was sure that his family members would not have survived in this cyclone, in this hazardous disaster. When Prashant reached his village, Kalikuda, he became numb on seeing the remains of his house. Their belongings were scattered in the water, and some things hung on the branches of the trees just above the flood water. He decided to look for his family at the shelter set up by the Red Cross Society. So this was the situation of his own village, of his own house. At the Red Cross shelter, he saw his maternal grandmother. She appeared weak but was glad to see that Prashant was alive. She rushed to him with her arms open and her eyes full of tears. It was a miracle for her, as the family had thought that Prashant would not have survived the storm. So Prashant was delighted to see his maternal grandmother, who in return was equivalent delighted to see Prashant. As Prashant's extended family came to know that he had come, they gathered around him and hugged him in relief. Prashant saw that everyone was worried and injured. He met his siblings, uncles and aunts, so he could see the condition of his village people. The next morning, Prashant realized that he had to get over his emotions and take charge of the situation. The huge crowd of around 2500 people in the shelter was full of sadness, as they had lost everything in the storm. So Prashant realized that he was the youngster over there and he had to take in charge of the situation to get over the sadness of the people. 86 people had been killed by the super cyclone. They had been at the shelter for the last 4 days. They had been eating raw coconuts, but now these were insufficient for the large number of people. So they had been in the shelter for 4 days and the food was not sufficient to fulfill the needs of everyone. Prashant, who was very young at the age of 19, decided to lead the crowd of distraught villagers. He formed a group of villagers, including the elders and the youth. They planned to force the local merchant to give them the stock of grains and rice to feed the people there who were hungry. So Prashant, being a teenager, decided to overcome the situation of his village people. The group succeeded and swam through the floods to get food for the crowd. No one was bothered by the fact that the rice was getting rotten because they were starved and were ready to eat even the rotting rice. The branches of broken trees were used to kindle a fire. So in this manner, the groups of Prashant's village accompanied each other in order to get over the devastated situation. As they were wet, burning a fire was an arduous task. It was a slow fire, but they managed to cook the rice on it. The survivors ate a meal after 4 days. The second task of the group was to clean the shelter. They removed garbage, cleaned excretory wastes, dead bodies, and tended the injured. So, in this manner, Prashant became the volunteer and helped his village people in overcoming the situation and giving them some sort of relief. On the 5th day after the super cyclone, a military helicopter flew over the shelter and dropped food parcels. It did not return later, but they needed food. So, the youth in the crowd gathered empty utensils. The children were made to lie in the sand with the utensils on their stomachs to indicate to the passing helicopters that they needed food. The helicopters got the message and returned with food and other necessities for the crowd at the shelter. As the helicopter once came did not come back, this made Prashant and his group to understand that they did not get to know about the necessities of their people. So they made children to lie in the sand with empty utensils on their stomach to indicate the message that they need food. And so the helicopters got the message and they returned with the food and other essential items. A large number of children had been orphaned in the super cyclone. Prashant put them together under a polythene sheet. The women in the shelter were deployed to look after the children and the men arranged food for everyone. So in this manner, the orphaned children were taken care of by the women and the male members arranged food for everyone. The sadness of the children and women in the shelter was growing with each passing day. Prashant requested to work in the NGO called Food for Work in order to keep the children busy. He organized sports events for them. So he tried his level best to comfort everyone, to remove the sadness of children and of the elder people too. He took help of other volunteers to help the widows and orphans to return to normal lives. The government had proposed to set up separate institutions for widows and orphans, but this proposal was successfully rejected by Prashant. So the government introduced a proposal to set up separate institutions for widows and orphans, but Prashant was in the view that why not widows and orphans should be together, as orphans would get a lively feeling of parent and parentless elders will have children to take care for. He felt that these separate institutions would neither help the orphaned children nor would they be beneficial for the widows. These volunteers wanted to settle the orphaned children and widows in foster families where they would get love and security. After 6 months of the disaster, Prashant had come out of the grief of losing his mother because he was engrossed in helping others that he forgot his pain. All the widows and orphans looked up to him in their time of grief, and so he learned to come out of his gloom and smile. So at last, in the situation of this disaster, Prashant was successfully able to help his village people and also was engrossed in helping others that he even forgot his own pain and grief, and also he learned to come out of his own dark days and was smiling happily. Now your homework is that you have to read the chapter thoroughly and do the textual questions of this chapter given at the back side of the chapter when the chapter ended. So you need to read the chapter thoroughly and then continue with the textual questions. Find out the answers of the textual questions after reading the chapter.